12 in this season series, which will run through next week in Milwaukee, including 5 of 6 here at Wrigley Field. So it's Harden against switch hitting second baseman Felipe Lopez, and we're underway. Ball 1 to Lopez, who's putting together a nice season combined with Arizona and Milwaukee, hitting .306. 2-0.
I mentioned that the Cubs had a very patient approach in the ball game last night against Giovanni Gallardo. Brewers, on the other hand, were extremely aggressive against Carlos Zambrano, especially in those first 4 innings. See how they attack Rich Harden in this ball game tonight.
63 degrees as we get started, and the wind is howling out of the northeast at 15 miles an hour. Well, if you're a pitcher tonight, you want to challenge. You might even challenge Prince Fielder and Derek Lee on a night like this, especially with nobody on base. You got to really get a hold of one to hit it out. 3-2 on Lopez.
It's like when you were a kid playing ball and you didn't have enough guys to field a complete team, and the hitter had to call his field. Well, today right field is dead. You don't need a right fielder. Nothing's going out that direction.
Pop foul off to the left. The fans in the upper deck are going to get more foul balls than normal. A lot of balls that would fall in the lower grandstand. The wind's just going to push him right back into the upper deck. Ball 4. Not a good omen for Harden in terms of all those pitches he tends to throw when he struggles. Last time out, over 100 in 4 innings.
From our Southwest Sky Cam, fastball that just runs inside off the plate. Lopez with a little body English right there to help buy the call, but takes ball 4.
I've asked you this before, and I believe Greg Maddux has talked about it. When the wind blows out, Greg always liked it because it helped his sinker. When the wind blows straight in like this, I wonder if it affects the pitches at all. I mean, literally affects the ball as it's in flight to the plate.
Well, when you're throwing a pitch into the wind, any movement is exaggerated. Knuckleball pitchers love it when the wind is blowing right in their face. Sinker ball pitchers, breaking ball pitchers, they like that wind blowing in their face. At least as far as getting the movement on the pitches. Now, when the wind's blowing in a pitcher's face, obviously it's blowing out. They don't particularly like that too much. But as far as getting movement on your pitches, you like the wind blowing in your face out there on the mound.
Swing and a miss by Corey Hart. That was in the mid-70s. That's as slow a pitch as you'll see Harden throw.
Well, he was talking after his last start about maybe working in the offseason and again in spring training next year on a 3rd pitch, something that he could get the batter to put in play early in the sequence.
Called strike 3.
A good fastball at the knees on the outside corner. Nothing Corey Hart could do with that, even if he did swing at it.
Brings up Ryan Braun. Last night got his 100th RBI of the season. Next 2 guys in the order, Braun and Fielder, have combined for 226 knocked in. Prince Fielder entered the day tied for the major league lead in RBIs with Albert Pujols, who picked up an RBI, I believe, in the 9th when he got hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. As Florida beat the Cardinals 5-2. 1-1 to Braun. St. Louis is off tomorrow. The Cubs are 6 back in the loss column in the NL Central.
That's a straight change up from Rich Harden. Good location. Gets the swing and a miss from Ryan Braun.
And he went around on that pitch that was way out of the zone. 1-2.
In last night's ball game, Carlos Zambrano really attacked Braun. His first 2 at-bats of the ball game, a lot of fastballs up in the zone. And he did get that bat out there in front of home plate.
already at 100 home runs for his career. Albert Pujols with 114 home runs over his first 3 years, going back to the early part of this decade.
Yeah, that's a pretty good list. Albert Pujols, Ralph Kiner, Eddie Matthews, Mark Teixeira, Joe DiMaggio, and Ryan Braun. 100 or more home runs in their first 3 seasons.
He got an 8-year contract in May of '08. $45 million deal through 2015. I think even when he signed it, a lot of people thought in the end that contract would look really good for the Brewers and maybe not so much for Ryan Braun. But hard to criticize a guy for accepting a $45 million deal. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 2 outs. But I think the next time around he'll probably make $45 million in less than half that time.
I think you're absolutely right. Another good change up in the dirt, down low and away. And if Braun continues to put up the kind of numbers that he has through his first year, that is going to be a major bargain.
Now 2015 he would be 32, actually be 31 after that contract, so still theoretically in the prime of his career. 1-0 on Prince Fielder, who's certainly in the prime of his career. 39 home runs. He's only 25. And while the Brewers have Braun locked in for a while, keep Fielder in the mix is swing and a miss, and the ball got away, so Lopez will get the second on a wild pitch charged to Harden. The Brewers basically could keep Fielder through 2011, sign through next year, and then can offer him arbitration the following year. That's hammered, but Derek Lee with a backhand stab on the short hop to end the inning. That goes 3 unassisted. Nicely done, Derek Lee. Cubs coming up. Brewers fail to score. And Derek Lee each taking 4 walks last night. The Cubs had 15 base runners with just walks and hit batters. What a night.
Take a look at the Brewers defensively tonight. Braun, Cameron, and Hart once again across the outfield. McGee, Escobar, Lopez, and Fielder across the infield. The Iron Man, Jason Kendall, caught 151 ball games for the Brewers last year, catching his 122nd game of this season. He'll be behind the plate for right-hander Braden Looper. 12-game winner on the season. ERA just under 5. Mentioned a lot of power ground ball pitches, a hard sinker, hard slider, split fingered fastball. Everything is down, down, down when he's at his best.
He might be staying at home during this series. He lives in Palos Heights in the offseason. And a called strike to Ryan Theriot. So the 4 walks by Cubs teammates in one game. First time 2 Cubs each walked 4 times in the same game since Stan Hack and Phil Cavarretta did it in an 18-inning affair back in 1942. Bounced off the glove of Looper, picked up by Escobar, and the throw is wild, and Theriot's safe. They still appeared to have a play on Theriot, but Escobar's throw pulled Fielder off the bag. It'll be a hit for Ryan.
Now, we haven't seen a lot of Escobar this season, but we're told he is quite the defender out there at shortstop. Comes in and makes the barehanded play here, and if his throw was on the money, I think they get Theriot at first base right there, but it was high, forcing big Prince Fielder to get way up off the ground. Theriot able to get on the bag.
I got to look at Ryan Theriot's finger that he jammed yesterday as he takes off for second, and he's safe. Ryan committed that error early in the game. The ground ball came up and caught his right middle finger and really blew up his nail. But he was able to remain in the game and he's had a good couple of days here.
19th stolen base of the season for Ryan Theriot. Didn't waste any time. Ran on the first pitch to Kosuke Fukudome. Now move him to third.
Inside corner and a strike. 1-1 on Kosuke, who has walked 5 times on the homestand, but still without a hit. And 17 at bats. A season high 12 walks, and the Cubs were hit 3 times as well last night. They had action late in the game. I mean, the bases were loaded at every turn.
And not only the walks and the hit by pitch, but also a lot of good hitters counts. 2-0, 3-1, full count pitches. Really made this Brewers pitching staff work last night.
Looper's 1-2, just missed the inside corner. He wanted it, didn't get the call from Doug Eddings. A red hot Derek Lee on deck. Went over 100 RBIs for the season, with 3 last night. A pop-up that normally would be in shallow right, but look at this. Felipe Lopez coming way in the middle of the dirt part of the infield. Kind of says it all about the wind.
Everybody chase everything tonight.
And run everything out.
Absolutely. This is one of the harder winds we've had in quite some time here at Wrigley Field. Really howling in. Good night to hit line drives.
Yeah. Looper with a look at Theriot. The kick and the pitch. Bounced in front of home plate and off the chest protector of Jason Kendall. How many times do you think he's blocked the ball just like that in his career?
Well, I don't even know if you could count them. I'll tell you, and Jason Kendall blocks a lot of pitches and gets his bare hand involved. There you see that right hand wide open next to the catcher's mitt. Now, fortunately for him, that one did hit the chest protector. But he blocks a lot of pitches in the dirt with his bare hand. We saw him as a member of the Cubs, had a lot of bruised knuckles, ball marks on the inside of his right forearm. Whatever it takes to keep that ball in front, he's willing to do it.
A 1-2 to Lee. Low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Told the story many times about Braden Looper. Made almost 600 career appearances before he made his first start. 572 in relief before he became a starter with St. Louis in 2007. Been a 12-game winner every year since, including this season. Has a chance tonight to win his 13th for the very first time.
If I remember correctly, in his days as a reliever, he was basically sinker splitter. Didn't throw a lot of breaking pitches, didn't throw the big slider.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
But as a starting pitcher, he's incorporated that hard slider down low and away from the right-handed hitters, down and into the lefties, and it's given him 3 quality pitches to be a starting pitcher.
And at one time, Bob, he was 96 to 98 with the fastball, but was a contact guy. He was never a guy who struck out a ton.
Come on, you left-handers.
Talked to Aramis before the game. I said, how's his shoulder? Is it the best it's been? He kind of said, it's not going to be 100% the rest of this season. And I did ask him if you changed your swing, and he admitted that maybe he's cut down on his swing on occasion, and you've pointed it out. There have been a couple of 2-strike situations, RBI spots like this. Instead of taking that huge hack, he's flipped it into right center.
Well, that would appear to be the approach you want to use tonight anyway. Line drives and hard ground balls are the order of the day with that wind blowing in the way it is tonight.
Ontario singled to start the inning, then stole second base. Before Fukudome popped out and Derek Lee struck out. It's a pitcher's strike right on the outside corner, 2-1. Giovanni Soto watching from the on-deck circle. Cooper taking his time with a runner in scoring position. The 3-1 to Aramis is outside, ball 4.
Looking at his pitch chart from his last time out against the Arizona Diamondbacks, he was a winner in that ball game. Went 5 2/3, gave up 8 hits and 3 runs. He did work both sides of the plate, in and out, with all 3 of his pitches, and everything was down, middle of the thighs and further down.
Popped up by Soto, and the wind's going to give him another chance. The wind giveth and the wind taketh away. Depends on your perspective tonight.
Well, he didn't need any wind last night. Absolutely crushed a ball to the back of the bleachers in left field. It was probably about a 5 to 8 mile an hour wind blowing in last night, but didn't affect that ball whatsoever.
This is his 100th career extra base hit. He's hitting .360 in September after a .128 month of August. Broken bat grounder. Escobar flips. Lopez receives it at second, and the inning is over. Cubs lead 2. No score after 1. Beautiful night. Feels like autumn here on September 16th. Casey McGee, National League Rookie of the Year candidate, takes a strike on the outside corner. Cubs made a roster move today. Veteran outfielder can play all 3 spots. So Taguchi. There's a couple of World Championship rings. The Cardinals in '06 and the Phillies last year. That's through the hole on the left side for McGee, their first hit. The reason Taguchi is here, the Cubs needed a backup center fielder. Reed Johnson still maybe over a week away on the DL, coming back from the foot injury, and Sam Full day to day with the strained thumb on his right hand. So the 40-year-old Taguchi is here. Hey, it's never a bad idea to add a few World Series rings to the Cubs bench. Mike Cameron hits it high in the air. The crowd oohing and eyeing, but not going to go, as Scales will catch it right in front of the warning track. Mike Cameron's going, ugh. Hey, podcast fans, Bob and I recorded a new podcast a few days ago. It's up for viewing. You can download it on WGNTV.com. Just go there, click on the sports header, look for the link, click, download, and enjoy. Also, I have a post about the Cubs' chances on our blog, and a special tribute there to Steve Goodman. This coming Sunday is the 25th anniversary of Steve Goodman's death, and we'll have a feature tomorrow on Steve Goodman on the leadoff man at 1 o'clock Central Time on WGN. Cubs will pay tribute to the Medal of Honor winners before the game tomorrow as well. And we'll have that ceremony for you. Approximately 60 recipients of the Medal of Honor will be here. That's high to Jason Kendall. 2-1. Would that be ironic? Sorry, Bob.
Yeah.
Sport Day Baseball, and here he is tonight.
I think I have a T-shirt like that at home. I was just going to mention the addition of So Taguchi to the roster with those 4 games coming up at AT&T Park out in San Francisco. I think Lou is a little concerned about his outfield defense. That is a big yard with a lot of ground to cover. So Taguchi won 5 Gold Gloves in his career over in Japan before coming to the United States.
To left, Scales will get it. Waist high grab, and McGee has to get back to first. So Cameron and Kendall have hit a couple balls hard, but for outs to Bobby Scales. We're keeping a watch on Ryne Sandberg's Tennessee Smokies. Game 2, best of 5 series. AA Southern League in Jacksonville, winning game 1 last night in extras and leading tonight in the 7th 2-0. Rhino got ejected last night. It was a close play at the plate in the 9th inning, right? Would have maybe won the game, or at least given them the lead.
I heard conflicting stories that it was an umpires conference and they overruled the initial call, but either way, he got ejected in the 9th. And the Smokies also had a runner thrown out at home plate in that ball game tonight. It's going to be a good series.
Welcome to Wrigley. I hope you brought a sweatshirt.
And just for your information, you don't have to hold that sign up all night.
2-0 on Escobar with Looper on deck. Alcides Escobar.
Lynn, did you happen to see the video from the Phillies game last night? The dad that caught a pop foul in the upper deck and handed it to his daughter, and she fired it over the railing down onto the lower decks.
That's fair as McGee's going to round second on his way to third. Brad Fisher, the third base coach, is going to send him, and he will score standing on a double by Escobar. And the Brewers strike first. Escobar tripled last night. Got some good wheels. Not a triple spot with 2 outs here, but he knocks in a run.
It has to be a little disconcerting to Larry Rothschild, and I'm sure to Rich Harden as well. Rich Harden is not a guy that gets hit very hard very often. McGee with the hard ground ball through the left side to start the inning. Cameron narrowly missed a home run to left field. Only the wind kept the ball in the ballpark. A line out to left field by Kendall, and now a double down in the corner by Escobar. Those are 4 of the hardest hit balls we've seen off of Rich Harden in a long time.
Cooper does a nice job with the bat. 208 this year, 218 in his career. That's a base hit. Escobar is going to be sent. Could be a play at the plate. Kosuke's throw is late, and Looper takes the extra bag as he knocks in his 8th of the year, and it's his 18th career RBI. 2-0.
Well, just as you said, and Looper comes through with a single into center field from our Southwest Skycam. The speed of Escobar made a play at the plate out of the question. If Gio was able to handle that one-hop throw on the first attempt, they might have been able to throw Looper out at second base. Not only did he hit that ball hard, but heads-up base running to go on to second as that throw went through to home plate.
Back to the top, Lopez walked his first time, swing and a miss. I'll tell you, Escobar was not even at third base when Kosuke picked up the ball, but Brad Fisher understands how fast Escobar is. I thought they might have a play, and they didn't. Another base runner, and I think Fukudome throws him out, or Fisher holds him.
You bring up a good point. We've talked in the past that the general rule of thumb for a third base coach is where is that runner when the outfielder picks up the baseball. If he has not yet reached third base, most of the time you're going to have to hold the runner. If he's around third base, you go ahead and send him, obviously. But that time Escobar was a couple steps away from third, but has the kind of speed that gave Fisher the confidence to send him on home.
Bench coach Willie Randolph talking with Escobar. A teaching moment.
Not quite sure what he did wrong. Line to double down in the corner and then scored on a hard hit ball into center field. He looked pretty good to me.
Well, maybe he's telling him that. This is what you did right.
Well, nothing wrong with that either. Encouragement is a good thing.
Bobby Scales is going to have all 3 putouts in the inning. But they do the damage at the bottom. The 8-9 hitters with RBI hits. It's 2-0 Milwaukee. The frisbee in the outfield. Somehow Coy Hill ended up in the scoreboard. Makes me queasy just watching that.
Oh, yeah. Tricky wins trying to throw the frisbee off the top of the scoreboard. That one ended up over in that first base bullpen.
While he was up there, he took the opportunity to wave at his family. Here on the north side. Mega Millions can find you every Tuesday and Friday. Mega Millions, have fun responsibly. Got it, Coy? Boys will be boys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, Len, I've watched the guys do that over the last month or so of the season, the guys that come out to get their extra work in, and rather than just run back and forth on the warning track, which can get a little old and boring, they come out there and throw that frisbee around, chase each other all over the field, and by the time they're done, they are all dripping with sweat when they get back to the clubhouse. Good way to have a little fun with your extra work. We've seen teams throw footballs around the outfield early in the afternoon to get their running in. Anything to break up the monotony of the workday.
Yeah, the Brewers players early yesterday were playing catch with a football. 1-0 on Milton Bradley. Braden Looper knocked in a run as they scored twice in the top of the inning. Inside corner 1-2. Been a slow start to the homestand for Bradley. 1 for 17, and you see the last 3 games. Called strike 3. He did get hit by a pitch with the bases loaded last night, forcing a run, but the struggles continue.
That comeback sinker started just inside off the corner, came right back over the white part of the plate for a called strike 3.
Now Mike Fontenot, 6 for his last 10. 2 hits last night. Scored a couple of runs. Did a good job as a pinch hitter on Sunday and Monday with doubles. And I don't hear any complaining in the Cubs clubhouse these days, because it's pretty simple. You produce, you play. Jeff Baker was hot. He pretty much played every day. He's cooled off just a bit. Fontenot's heated up, and that's why he's in there. The manager doesn't play a lot of games in terms of with guys' heads. You hit, you play. On the hands, and McGee goes back. Escobar has a better angle on it and gets it in foul ground. 2 outs. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Brewers tomorrow at 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will get a Cubs mouse pad, compliments of Harrah's. Along the lines, Bob, of playing time, after tonight, just 18 games to go, and every game is important right now for a team trying to get really back into the race. You have a plan mapped out for the whole season in terms of giving guys rest, and if you see a guy who looks tired, you give him a day off. But other than that, it's all about production, right? I mean, you don't build in off days at this point for guys like Derek Lee.
No, not now. Like you said, during the course of the season, you always look a couple of series ahead and you see if there's a particularly tough matchup. Especially if it's a day game after a night game, or maybe a day before or after an off day, where you can combine it and make it like 2 days off. And you try to pick your spots, make sure everybody stays rested and ready to go all season long. But right now it's a sprint.
And the Cubs only have, I believe, 1 off day left over the final 3 weeks. 2-0 Milwaukee.
Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape for up-to-the-minute stats and information designed to give you everything you need to know during the game. The WGN Sports Game Zone is available for every Cubs game and is brought to you by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
Hot tub would feel good tonight.
Oh, getting hot tub. Ow.
Eyes on the field, please. Thank you.
Probably checking out the WGN TV game zone.
That's right. We'll make an exception for that.
Want to find out what Corey Hart is hitting in his second plate appearance of a game.
Harden with a 1-2, and it's rolled in the left.
Change-ups that are down in the strike zone, you get a lot of swings and misses and a lot of balls hit off the end of the bat. But when you throw that same change-up up around the letters, the hitter sees it so well, can make an adjustment with his swing, and that time Hart able to find that hole in the left side of the infield on a high change-up.
One and 0 to Ryan Braun. Start number 26 for Rich Harden. First time he's gotten to 26 starts since a career high 31 with Oakland in 2004. Posted back-to-back 25 start campaigns now for the first time. Exactly 25 last year between Oakland and Chicago. Outside 3-0 with Prince Fielder anxiously waiting on deck. Tennessee on the board in the 7th, trailing 2-1 in game 2. Go Smokies. 3-1.
I think that's a great experience for those young guys at the minor league level to get a little bit of taste of postseason baseball, the intensity that goes along with it. After a long minor league season, find a little adrenaline here late in the year. Hopefully it'll serve them well when they get up here to Wrigley Field.
Jacksonville, yeah, the Double-A affiliate of the Florida Marlins. That's a strike. 3-2.
We'll call that the bottom of the strike zone.
Okay.
He has very low knees.
Eddie Goodell Memorial Strike Zone. Hart goes on the 3-2, and it's bounced, backing up Ramirez, ate him up, got into left. Hart will end up at third with Braun getting to second. He went down and got it.
Yeah,
would have been ball 4.
Good low changeup. Hart sees that ball get past Ramirez into left field. He's going to turn the corner. He had thoughts about scoring on that. That's just a bad misplay by Aramis Ramirez right there. Really got caught in between badly, trying to backpedal and field that ball about belt high as it got through into left field.
It has been scored a hit, a double. But I think I'm not going to
write that down quite yet. As good as Ramirez has been offensively since returning from the disabled list, defensively he's been caught flat-footed a lot.
So they are loaded with nobody out.
A big first hop right there. That's the one the third baseman usually wants to get. Charge in and either catch the ball in the air or pick it right off the ground. That real short hop. It's much easier to handle than backing up and trying to play that second big hop.
And rookie righty David Patton getting loose. We're here in the third inning, and Rich Harden up against the wall here, facing Casey McGee, who singled and scored in the second. That's the 17th intentional walk taken by Prince Fielder. Albert Pujols leads the league with 42. Now again, this is a kind of night where the outfielders can play in a few steps in this spot. And on any sacrifice fly situation, it's going to give them a chance. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
You're talking about those intentional walks. That ain't nothing. On this day in baseball history, Barry Bonds walked 3 times to break his own single season record. 178 on the year, 60 of those intentional.
At this point, 2 hits and an intentional walk, but we both agree it'll end up being 1 hit, an error, and an intentional walk. Set up this inning. Inside, 1-2. They give you all kinds of numbers in terms of what we call splits. ERAs, records in different situations, and this appeared to be a great one for Rich Harden in terms of a night game, cool temperatures, all of that. To right, and that's going to be plenty deep enough to get the runner in and move Braun up as well. So Hart scores, and that's a 2-for-1 for Casey McGee. He'll get an extra hand from his manager when he gets into the dugout. Not only gets the run in, but puts Braun at third with only 1 out, 3-0.
Well, those productive outs. Casey McGee with an inside out swing, led with his hands right there. The barrel of the bat kind of dragged behind, got the ball in the air to right field. Milton Bradley had to circle around playing that ball in the wind. And as you said, not only an RBI, but also advanced Braun onto third base with 1 out in the inning.
Bounced in front of home plate against Cameron. 1-0.
Well, that's one of those tough ones for a catcher. That nearly got up underneath the throat guard of Giovanni Soto. That ball hit so far out in front of home plate, came way up and almost got him in the mask.
Harden looking for a double play ball to get out of this thing with only 1 run allowed.
Pretty good chance this is going to be his last hitter right here. He has really lost his command out there. It's not unusual for that changeup to leave him from time to time, but he's missing with his fastball as well.
I think that was his fastball, Bob. In the low to mid 80s.
Sometimes a pitcher will take something off that 3-0 pitch, just trying to guide it up there and make sure you get that first strike. Velocity way down tonight.
Larry Rothschild's going to come out as loaded up again. We're in a great stretch in terms of starts until last night when Carlos Zambrano had a real tough 5th inning. He gave up the lead. Rich Harden the last couple of times out, even though in the second half he's been excellent in the overall. He's trying to get through the 3rd tonight after going only 4 innings in his last start. Probably of all the guys in both lineups who couldn't care less about the wind is the guy at the plate, Jason Kendall. He doesn't come and look at the wind. He might for his own pitching staff, but he's never concerned about hitting the ball out of the park. He has only 1 homer all year. The throw's going to go to the plate. Soto actually applied the tag. He had the force play. That's the 2nd out.
Well, the Cubs did get the out at home plate, but that's a totally unnecessary tag play right there. On this play, Giovanni Soto actually becomes a first baseman. Plant 1 foot on home plate, stretch out there for the throw, stay away from that runner. Anything can happen when you try to apply that tag. The ball could pop out of the glove. The umpire could see the play a little bit differently. No reason to apply a tag right there.
Still loaded for Escobar. Swing and a miss. The kick, the 1-1. Good changeup.
We need an out right here. The way the Cubs offense has been swinging the bats lately, you feel pretty good at 3 runs. You have a chance to get back into the ball game at 3. Let me get this out right here.
A blooper, Terrio out, and he won't get there. Right in front of Fukudome, they'll get 2 as Escobar has 3 RBIs here early on. An RBI double in the 2nd, a bloop 2-run single here in the 3rd. It's 5-0. Well, we talk about the wind a lot on nights like this, but a normal night, that's an F8.
That's a can of corn on a normal night here at Wrigley. If there is such a thing as a normal night at Wrigley Field, that wind changes the conditions every day you show up at this ballpark.
Two. Going up to 91 for Harden.
Well, I think part of the reason Lou Piniella has stuck with Harden as long as he has in this inning is because his spot is due to lead off the next inning. If you bring David Patton in, you either have to let him hit for himself or pinch hit for a pitcher that came into the ball game to get 1 out.
Swing and a miss to end the inning, and probably will be it for Harden. Cubs trail 5-0. Couple of hits and 3 knocked in, and it's 5-0 Milwaukee. And for Rich Harden, the last 2 starts combined just 7 innings. He'll be lifted for a pinch hitter after just 3 innings of work. Tickets are still available for Cubs games this season, including bleacher seats. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office. So Aaron Miles will hit for Harden. He never did get an at bat. Into right, and a base hit. Second time through the order as Terrio comes up.
Good to see Aaron Miles squaring one up. He's had a rough go of it. When you find yourself in a position like Aaron Miles is right now, about the only way you can get more playing time is put together a string of good pinch hit at bats. And up until that line drive into right field, it had been a tough go off the bench for Aaron as well.
There's been a scoring change on that ball that got past Ramirez. An error charged to Ramirez, and no hit for Ryan Braun. Checked his swing, and it results in a base hit. Miles to third. Terrio trying to hustle to second. Better hurry. Safe. He got in. Boy, took a risk. Down 5. And it's a double for Terrio. That's one of those no. Yes.
Go. Yeah, you better make sure you make it. Trailing by 5 runs in a ball game, but you'd always rather have your players be more aggressive than more passive. Corey Hart has a real good throwing arm out there in right field. Spun around with his back to the infield. A 2-hop throw into Escobar gave Terrio the time he needed to get to the bag.
I totally agreed. Rather harness a guy, rein him in, than the other way around. Fukudome with an opposite field fly ball. It's going to get Miles in, and Terrio will have to hold at second. It's now 5-1. Well, it's early enough. You can kind of still play for 1 or 2, and I have to get it all back with 1 swing. And this is a kind of night where you probably can't, the way the wind is howling. And it'll be up to the Cubs bullpen to keep them within shouting distance. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Terrio will score. It's 5-2 on a Derek Lee RBI hit.
Good to see the Cubs answer that 3 spot by the Brewers in the top half of the inning, putting 2 on the board so far of their own here in the bottom half. Now, this ball game is a long way from over.
Here's Ramirez. 3 hits in the inning. And the Cubs getting 2 runs back. Looper set, and the 0-1. Braden Laverne Looper, 34 years old, 6'4", 230 pounds. He signed late in the offseason, February 12th. So he's not even in their media guide. Fly to left. Braun on the track for the out. Little did Braden Looper's parents know when Braden Laverne was born that he would pitch in Milwaukee, home of Laverne and Shirley.
Maybe they did know.
1-0 on Soto. Mentioned earlier, Florida beat the Cardinals 5-2 to win that series, taking 2 of 3. Josh Johnson beat Joel Pinheiro. Johnson now with 15 wins. Pinheiro dropped to 14-11. So the Cardinals have really cooled off here lately. 4th hit of the inning. So 2 on, and all of a sudden the tying run comes to the plate. Florida will next go to Cincinnati for the weekend. Cardinals are off tomorrow as they await the Cubs on Friday night. It's a high fly down the line. The wind is going to push it foul. Florida's kind of in a similar spot as the Cubs in terms of their division. They started the day 7 back of the Phillies. The Marlins very much in the wild card race, picking up a half game with the win, so they're only 4 out behind the Rockies. Escobar smothers it. He's going to have to throw to first as Lopez was not at second base. Nice defensive play by Escobar. Cubs get 2. They trail by 3. A lot of scoring for a night in which the wind is blowing straight in. Cubs back in it, trailing 5-2. Hoffpower in to play right, and he'll hit 9th in the order. Milton Bradley made the final out of the 3rd, so that's where David Patton will enter the game, and Felipe Lopez will bat for the 3rd time. Lopez maybe got caught spectating on that excellent play by the shortstop.
Now, sometimes when you have a new double play partner up the middle of the field, it takes a while to learn his capabilities. How much ground can he cover? When do I need to get over there and cover second base? Because on that last play, Lopez was caught standing in his position watching Escobar make the play. Hey, Cub fans, when you're at Wrigley, make sure to buy a bottle of ice cold Pepsi or Diet Pepsi from a vendor. Then check for the Cubs win sticker under the bottle for your chance to win an overnight stay at the Abbey Resort and Avani Spa on Lake Geneva at Fontana, Wisconsin. Make sure to buy from your Pepsi vendor for your chance to win with Pepsi and the Abbey Resort.
Corey Hart with Lopez at first and nobody out, and a called strike. We say it all the time. The conditions kind of create an environment. Tonight, again, you would think it'd be a great night to pitch when the wind's blowing straight out. It's a good night to hit, but you still have to make your pitches. And if you make your pitches with the wind blowing out at 25 miles an hour, you can have a 1-0 game. That deflects to Terrio, and they'll only get one. Goes off Patton, who appears to be okay. And conversely, tonight, it could be blowing in at 1,000 miles an hour. Well, we wouldn't be playing, but you still have to throw quality strikes.
You know, and I think some of it is we get a look at that last play that bounces off David Patton to Ryan Terrio, who makes a nice play to get the out at first. I think some of it is the psychological effect that the wind has on the hitters. When you step out of that dugout and you see those flags blowing straight in the way they are tonight, you know, you might tell yourself, I'm just going to shorten up, make sure I make good solid contact tonight, because you're not going to be able to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And that's the approach that's going to get you better results over the course of a long season anyway.
A lot of pitches in the dirt on both sides. Another good block by Soto.
Nasty curveball from David Patton, hit way out in front of home plate. Textbook form that time by Giovanni Soto. Looked like he touched that ball with his mask again. We talked about that before. That is a no-no. And I think Ken Maka saw it.
Yeah, he did. You are absolutely right.
He's going to ask Doug Eddings to ask for help from one of the base umpires. Watch as Gio takes off his mask and stops the baseball right there. You can't do that. You can't use any piece of equipment.
Yep, and I think he's being told by Doug Eddings. And I'm sure Lou will come out. And that's significant. Lopez now gets third base.
Boy, Gio knows better than that. Every catcher, that's one of the first things you're taught. You can't use any piece of equipment displaced from its natural location to field a ball or stop a ball from rolling.
It's an error. So another error for the Cubs, their second in as many innings. And the infield has to come in on a 1-0 to Braun, base hit. The only thing about that play that surprises me is that none of the four umpires happened to see it.
You don't have to appeal to get that call. At least I don't think so. If an umpire sees it, it's supposed to be called right away. But after the fact, after Ken Maka came out and argued the calls, apparently somebody saw it and didn't make the call.
Well, Ken Maka should know. He caught a little bit in his career. Played the corner spots in the infield, some outfield. They overload the right side against Fielder. 2 balls, no strikes. They had some rain in Atlanta, but they are playing down the bottom of the first. No score. Mets and Braves, Bobby Parnell and Derek Lowe. Ball 4. You see some more action in the Cubs bullpen here momentarily. Tom Gorzolani's going to get up. Left-hander.
A real right-handed heavy lineup tonight for the Brewers. Felipe Lopez, the leadoff hitter, is a switch hitter, and of course Prince Fielder, the big guy in the middle, is a left-handed hitter. Everybody else in the lineup, right-handed hitters.
Patton steps off. Let's see, signs again from his catcher. Breaking ball misses too low. 1 ball, no strikes. Time Soto tucked the mask under his arm.
Another good block. Man, he's had a lot of practice at that tonight. Just to be sure, I'm going to put it underneath my elbow here.
Diving stop. Ramirez from his knees. They get an out as Fontenot ended up playing like a first baseman. Nicely done at second to get Prince Fielder. Nice play. Aramis, 2 outs.
Ball hit like a bullet by Casey McGee. Looked like it was ticketed for left field. Ramirez with a dive to his left. Just was able to get a sliding Prince Fielder at second base. Looking like that one didn't feel too good.
And those are ones you worry about. He suffered the injury diving the other way toward the line in Milwaukee. Over Cameron's head, 1-1.
Well, and you were talking a few moments ago about the Florida Marlins and their situation in the National League East, trailing the Phillies by 7 games going into play tonight. The one big difference is the Marlins have 6 games remaining with the Phillies, 3 down in Florida and 3 in Philadelphia.
Ramirez picks it up and throws across. Cubs will have 3 more shots at the Cardinals this weekend. It's 6-2 Milwaukee.
2009 Chicago Cubs baseball season on Cubsnet is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
The Cubs won the first two of this series. Milwaukee leading Game 3 6-2 behind Braden Loopers, trying to notch his 13th win of the season. Swing and a miss by Mike Fontenot as he went after a splitter. Looper's been good against the Cubs this season. This is his third start. He's 1-0 with a 2.45. He has the lowest ERA against the Cubs since 2005 at 1.97. It's Lopez to his left, short toss to fielder, 1 out. Now Bobby Scales. As we look ahead to tomorrow, right-handers Dave Bush and Randy Wells will go at it at 1:20. And we'll be on the air on WGN at 1 o'clock for the leadoff man. Cubs basically have to win every series the rest of the year. I hope some other teams are mediocre the rest of the way. That'll plop down out in right center. Cameron gets it and keeps Scales to a long single.
When I watch Mike Cameron play center field, and he's lost a step or two compared to earlier in his career, but he still covers as much ground as any center fielder in the game. I think of Gary Maddox with the Philadelphia Phillies. They used to say that 2/3 of the earth is covered by water and the other third is covered by Gary Maddox. You can say the same thing about Mike Cameron.
Mike has won 3 Gold Gloves for his stellar play in the outfield. And he is a center fielder. He moved over to right with Carlos Beltran in New York. But center field is where he's made most of his money. He's bounced around White Sox, Reds, Mariners, Mets, Padres, and here in Milwaukee. Guess where he's from? LaGrange.
No kidding.
Georgia.
Oh. I don't know if there's a shack outside LaGrange, Georgia.
Two and two to Hoffpower. First at bat of the night for Micah. And he slices one in the air, sending Braun over and back, and he has it. So 2 down. It's up to Terrio to keep the inning alive. Happy 47th birthday wish to our good friend Max Crawford, who works here in the press box. Cubs entertainment crew. Max, a fantastic musician, plays a trumpet, keyboards, accordion. At a rock club near you. You ever try the accordion?
Can't say as I have. Looks like it would be dangerous.
I know you love polka.
I grew up listening to polka every Sunday morning. Polka varieties. Mikey Yankovic and the Yanks. My dad was a huge polka fan. I have to incorporate a little polka music in the Len and Bob band.
Not a bad idea. We'll be in Milwaukee next week. Wouldn't be a bad fan cam idea. The polka. Ryan Theriot walks. Keep the inning alive for Fukudome.
And now we're more interested in rap music, like rapping some base hits around this field and getting back in the ball game.
I just thought Lawrence Welk would be a good 7th inning stretch guest.
Avan and the two.
Gary Pressey on the accordion. I can hear it.
Yeah.
Well, Looper, if he can do the math, knows that if he lets Fukudome reach, Derek Lee would bat as a tying run. It's still early. The Cubs with a chance here to really cut into that deficit. Tapper to Looper. High throw, but fielder staying on the bag, and that's the inning. Cubs leave 2. They're down 6-2 after 4. Bottom 3 in the Milwaukee order against rookie righty David Patton. Another short start for Rich Harden. He was chased after just 3 innings. 2-0 to Kendall. Patton has been flirting with danger here. He gave up a run in the 4th and getting behind a lot of hitters. 2-1. Patton was activated from the DL on September 2nd. Missed almost 2 months with a right groin strain. Rule 5 pick in the offseason. The Reds took him from the Rockies. Then they turned right around and traded him to the Cubs. And pretty much when those deals happened, Cubs knew they wanted Patton, so they worked out a deal with the Reds, who took him and then traded him. That's what the Cubs did for the Reds when they got Josh Hamilton a few years ago. They never had any intention of keeping Hamilton. That was a prearranged deal. The pitch. Ball 4.
Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules.
Leadoff walk. Now it's Escobar, who's already had a big night offensively and defensively. Low for ball 1. Kick in the pitch. That's wrapped into center. 2 on, no outs. And with that, more action as Scorzalani and Justin Berg will join him. Alcides Escobar's 3 for 3.
With 2 on and nobody out, it will give Ken Maka the option of having Braden Looper put down a sac bunt. As you get a look at Escobar taking that pitch right back where it came from. Fastball in the inside part of the plate and wrapped it right over the mound into center field. Looper with 10 sac bunts on the season leads this Brewers ball club. But as you mentioned earlier, he handles the bat pretty well, and with the 4-run lead in the ball game, this is where managers tend to get a little more aggressive than they would normally be. But Looper showing bunt on the first pitch.
Ken Maka's in his first year with Milwaukee, signed a 2-year contract over the winter. Right around this time last year, Ned Yost was fired with 12 games to go. Foul. Soto picked it up in foul ground. And Dale Swain took over as the interim manager, and they did win the wild card. They got to the playoffs, were bounced by the Phillies. The eventual World Series champ, and Dale Swain returned as the hitting coach.
One of the odder situations we've seen in Major League Baseball in a long time. Willie Randolph also interviewed for the manager's job, and he's on Ken Maka's staff.
And then Looper pulled it back, tried to swing, tried to hold up, and then he swung. I don't think was a piece of video that Braden Looper's going to save for the vault. But 1 out.
Whoops.
So here's Lopez with 2 on and now 1 away. Bob, I saw the story on MLB.com. Thought it was interesting. You ever heard the name Jerry Dior?
Yes, I have.
Well, you've seen the Major League logo, right?
Correct.
Well, he designed it.
Oh, okay.
Back in 1968, and Major League Baseball is honoring him. And I always thought this when asked, you know, I think it's Jerry West, right? The NBA logos designed to look like Jerry West. Everyone thought the MLB logo was supposed to look like Harmon Killebrew, but that is not the case. Dior quoted, "Mine wasn't based on anyone, just a nondescript figure with a bat."
Then he was talking about me.
You weren't in the majors, though, in 1968. There it is. That's it right there. The Major League logo. Classic. And apparently generic. Everyone thought it was Harmon Killebrew's likeness, but no. It was intentionally ambiguous in every way. I was only told to create a nondescript figure, and that's what I did.
There you go. So he succeeded.
One and two to Felipe Lopez. I mean, that's a pretty cool thing to be walking around with. Now, what'd you do yesterday? Design the Major League Baseball logo. Fukudome misjudged it. It's going to roll all the way to the wall, and it's going to go into the ivy. And I believe one guy's going to have to return to third. Brian Knight double checking. So we'll see. Are they going to keep Escobar at third, or are they going to let him score? No, they're going to send him back.
Send him back. I think that was a line drive, first of all, that stayed underneath the scoreboard. The scoreboard acts as a little bit of a buffer against that strong wind blowing in from center field, and Fukudome got fooled. That ball was hit well, but I think the scoreboard screened the wind and allowed that ball to carry a lot further than Kosuke thought it was going to.
And Lou's going to make a change. He's going to go with another righty and another rookie, Justin Berg, for Patton. It's Milwaukee 7 and the Cubs 2.
The House of Blues October 16th, brought to you by Bud Light. Tickets are available exclusively at Ticketmaster.com.
Dr. John in the house?
Yeah, he likes UFO. They'll be playing October 16th, brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability.
Sounds like Blue Cheers, something like that. And a base hit greets Justin Berg, as Milwaukee will add 1 and now 2. Corey Hart with a 2-run single. 9-2.
Bad decision that time by Micah Hoffpower. Softly hit ball, barely gets over Fontenot at second base into shallow right field. He got no chance to throw that runner out at home plate. Air mails it over everybody. Not a chance to cut it off. That allows Corey Hart to move into scoring position himself.
Those runs charge to Patton. Gave up 4 in an inning and a third. So here's Justin Berg making just his 4th appearance. I'm going to ask Justin. I'm sure he grew up a Brewer fan. He's from Antigo, Wisconsin. And ahead 9-2. This is a pitch, even on a night like this, for a guy like Ryan Braun, they say, you know what, I'm going to take one shot at hitting a home run, even with the wind blowing in. Pops it up behind the plate. Well, did that land? Did that hit the netting before it hit the ledge?
I'm not sure. It did hit the ledge, definitely. From our angle, it's really tough to tell if it hit the backstop on the way down.
Looked like Gio might have had a play on it.
It definitely hit right at the edge of the ledge. Once again, we couldn't tell if it hit high on the screen or not.
Out into right center. Hoffpauir catches it and keeps Hart at second. Prince Fielder would like to join in on the Brewers' fun. They have 9 runs, but he hasn't knocked in any of them. Still sitting on 126 RBIs as he looks to set their new single-season RBI record. That includes the Brewers' American League days. Grounds to the shortstop on the right side of second base. Terrio throws him out. They add 3 to their lead. It's now 9-2 Milwaukee. Derek Lee on the homestand continues his awesome season. Second best year of his entire career. 45 knocked in since the break. That's tonight's Toyota moving forward, thanks to Toyota. And look who's batting. I like when a plan comes together. A strike from Braden Looper. Get a chance, check out a website founded by Derek and his wife Christina, and he gives Christina all the credit for coming up with the idea. It's called theathletescloset.org. Theathletescloset.org, not-for-profit organization that sells exclusive high-end clothing and accessories gently worn by today's athletes. And the money goes to a great cause. Buys food for the hungry, clothing for the poor through donations to their charity partners. So maybe I'm not giving you something specific, maybe like a golf shirt once worn by Derek. You could bid on that as Derek takes a leadoff walk. So make sure you check it out. I don't know if you'd like to contribute anything in particular.
Everything I wear is worn hard.
You don't wear anything gently?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, maybe that would actually make for a better item.
And I imagine some of the items donated by major league players would have a very limited market, you know.
Well, I don't even know if necessarily people would bid on them to wear them, just to have it. You know,
I guess so.
A pair of Derek Jeter's jeans or something. That'd be cool. A pair of shoes. Fouled off by Ramirez. One thing I know you won't donate is a pair of sandals, because you probably don't have one because they would show your toes.
I don't own a pair of sandals. I've never owned a pair of sandals. Closest I've ever come is shower shoes that you wear when you take a shower. That's it.
Ramirez clubs it deep to left field, and it'll be gone. A home run. About the only way to hit one tonight. A line shot blast to make it 9-4, his 13th of the year.
Good trajectory, good location. Line drive right down that left field line. Boy, really went down and got it. Aramis Ramirez throughout his career has been one of the best low ball hitters in all of baseball. Our Southwest Airlines, how far did it fly? 368 feet.
Soto out in the left center. Well, a bizarre night. We're only in the 5th inning. 13 runs combined on 18 hits. It's cold and the wind's blowing in. Almost has a feel of late April here in mid-September in terms of the conditions. Jake Fox is going to bat in the pitcher's spot.
5th inning of the ball game. We've already had 2 pinch hitters for the pitcher and a double switch. Even Ken Maka commented about it. The first game of this series, it was as calm as we've ever seen a night game here at Wrigley Field. The flags were not moving at all, and it was a very low-scoring ball game. Last night with the wind howling in, and again tonight with the wind blowing in, you would assume it would be a low-scoring game, and both teams putting on an offensive show.
Called strike to Jake. Cooper has to get through this inning to qualify for the win. Jake Fox turns on one, the wind pushing it. Foul. He had the distance. Braden Looper is going to say to himself, I don't think I'll throw that one again. Not in that spot.
Well, got the fans out of their seats momentarily. That ball was clubbed right down the left field line, but that wind just pushed it foul.
If the ball's headed toward your window, I don't think the shade is going to stop it from coming through. Might deaden it a little bit. Called strike 3 to get Fox. Guy's aggravated already, sitting out here in a night game.
Well, we've seen Doug Eddings call some low strikes in this ball game early for Rich Harden, and now this time for Braden Looper, a pitch that appeared to be maybe at the bottom of the strike zone.
Certainly behooves the guys on the bench to watch the game early on. As Fontenot lofts it down the line, fair. Soto to third. He'll stop there. It's a double for Fontenot. Cubs are a triple away from the cycle here in the 5th inning. A homer, a single, a double. We had the leadoff walk by Derek Lee. 2 in and a chance to get more.
Fontenot stays hot at the plate. Clean line drive down into that right field corner. Hart's throw back to the infield was just kind of in the general vicinity. He missed the cutoff man. The ball came rolling back into the infield. That's what we talk about all the time, Len. Just get rid of the ball quickly toward the infield. And the runners and the coaches have no choice but to stop the guy at third base. If you would have realized that throw was so far offline, Giovanni Soto may have been able to score.
Pitching coach Chris Bosio made a quick trip to the mound. David Weathers is up in the pen.
This might be the earliest David Weathers has ever warmed up in a ball game, at least the last few years. He's generally a 7th, 8th inning guy.
Well, you got to get at least one here. And Scales takes ball 1. Just to finish my point in terms of Jake Fox, you know, the bench guys, they watch a game and see what the umpire is doing. You may only get one chance, so you definitely need to know what kind of strike zone you're going to face. A bouncer to short. Escobar is going to get the out at first. So Scales makes it 9-5 as Soto scores. And another runner in scoring position for Hoffpower. I remember how the Cubs got to their bullpen last night, and they may be close to getting into that pen tonight. They're facing different guys. They haven't faced Trevor Hoffman yet. Looper to Fielder, and that's the inning. But 3 runs for the Cubs. It's 9-5 after 5. As we begin the 6th, Jake Fox stays in and plays left. Bobby Scales goes over to right. So Micah Hoffpower is out, and the pitcher spot is again the 9th spot. Tom Gorzolani, a left-hander from Orland Park, will take over. Mid-season acquisition from the Pirates. Marist High grad, also went to Triton College. Justin Berg went to Triton, not with Gorzolani. And the most famous alum, the late Kirby Puckett from Triton. Lance Johnson. Pretty good program. Two and one. Former Cub Corey Patterson, now in a Brewers uniform. I saw Corey late last night. 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter, and then played center.
It's been kind of the same song for Corey Patterson, even with a different uniform. 2 for 23 on the season with 10 strikeouts and no walks.
Split time this year between the Nationals and the Brewers. Been in the minors a little bit too. Fouled back. 3-2 to McGee. Cubs need a shutdown inning. They were able to negate the 3 that Milwaukee got in the top of the 5th by scoring 3 of their own in the bottom of the inning. Soft liners caught by Terrio. Follow your team on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com. There's that logo. Classic MLB logo. MLB.com at Bat 2009 features play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. Visit Cubs.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase. Cameron pulls one, diving stop. Ramirez from his knees to Lee. Excellent play. Aramis with an error earlier tonight, but he's made 2 really good plays the last couple of innings, and that one didn't feel too good either.
Well, and on this play, Ramirez knew he had to hurry with Mike Cameron. He couldn't even take the time to get to his feet to make the throw. Fires from his knees. Nice stretch by Derek Lee back toward home plate to get the out. Good defensive play right there.
First appearance for Gorzolani in 8 days. Kendall slices it. It lands foul. Good attempt by Scales. He's already the 3rd right fielder of the night for the Cubs. Bradley, Hoffpower, and Scales. Let's update you on the Southern League Finals. And Tennessee's in an 0-2 hole. A 2-1 loss. So both games in Jacksonville decided by 1 run. But you know what, Bob? Ryan Sandberg can tell his team, my team was up 2-0, 1984, and we didn't close it out. So it is not over yet. A lot of things can happen in best of 5. Swing and a miss. Kendall strikes out Gorzolani with a 1-2-3-6. It's now 9-5 Milwaukee. Escobar is probably going to man shortstop for a while for the Brewers. He's 3 for 3 tonight. He's knocked in 3. Rich Harden tying the second shortest outing as a Cub with just 3 innings. Visit your Honda dealer. Test drive a 2009 Honda Accord. The ageless David Weathers. Terrio smacks it into center. The Cubs keep pressing. Terrio's now 3 for 3. He's been on all 4 times. Good to see. He's had a good couple of days here.
Good numbers for David Weathers. And it seems like we talk about him every year. Sinker slider, sinker slider.
David Weathers is one of those guys who isn't trying to fool anybody. I can almost tell you what's coming. He's trying to get contact, trying to get bad contact. 2-0 to Fukudome. Big birthday coming up for David Weathers. In 9 days he turns 40. But he's not the oldest Brewer. It's Trevor Hoffman, who's 41 and will turn 42 in mid-October. But Craig Counsell feels young compared to those guys. Counsell just recently turned 39. Well, just a couple of years ago, this was a very young club. They're not that young anymore. They traded some prospects. They acquired CC Sabathia last year, and it paid off as he got them to the playoffs for the first time since 1982. Terrio runs, and they'll stay out of the double play. Maybe. Wow, they turned it. A little bit of a risk by Lopez throwing to second, but it was hit so hard they still turned 2. 4-6-3.
Fukudome finally hits a ball on the button. Unfortunately, it's right at the Brewers' second baseman. That was a real risky play on the part of Felipe Lopez. Terrio was kind of caught in between whether to try to get to the bag as quickly as possible or to break up a double play, and ended up doing neither one. As a runner on this play, you know that ball's hit hard, and most of the time, especially being a middle infielder, you know the timing of the play. Ryan probably figured they weren't going to make a play on him at second base.
McGee fires across. Promising start to the inning, but the Cubs come up empty. We'll head off to the 7th. They still trail by 4. Inside the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. You're at 1060 West Addison Street. Cubs have been playing their home games here since 1916. 1-0 on the shortstop Escobar. Now he is young. He's only 22. Prince Fielder, 25. Ryan Braun, 25. Matt Gamble, 24. Two and two. Another base hit for Alcides Escobar, his 4th tonight.
Some home run swings on fastballs earlier in the count. He gets a breaking ball from Tom Gorzolani. Does a nice job for a young hitter. Kept his hands back. Just flipped that ball into left field for his 4th hit of the game.
David Weathers gets down a good bunt.
If I'm not mistaken, that was his first at bat. Yeah, certainly as a member of the Brewers, probably all season. Put down a perfect sacrifice bunt.
His first sac bunt in 11 years. Probably asked for the ball. Lopez turning around, batting right-handed against Gorzolani, and he flies to left for the second out. We're email accessible. Len and Bob at chicagonow.com. You can tweet us at twitter.com/Len and Bob. Academy Award winner Richard Dreyfuss will conduct the 7th inning stretch coming up. That should be fun. Corey Hart with a runner at second, 2 outs, and on the hands and fouled back into the seats. That's high. The last plate appearance for David Weathers prior to the one he just had was 2006. David has 2 career home runs. Too low, 2-1. Drilled into center. Fukudome's got it on the run. Time for the stretch with Richard Dreyfuss.
Conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game is Academy Award winning actor Richard Dreyfuss.
playing baseball.
For playing baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah. 9-5 Milwaukee. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Great to have Richard Dreyfuss with us, Academy Award winning actor. And a little extra twist at the end of the 7th inning stretch tonight. Nicely done, sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Wrigley Field.
And it's wonderful to be here, except I got some gum on my shoe.
Oh, really? I apologize. I probably dropped
That was a gum joke.
Oh, okay. How many times have you been to Wrigley?
This is the first time.
This is it.
This is the first time.
And your thoughts?
It's like being in the second city.
Because that's where we are.
That's right. And everyone is dressed better than me. Which is really, that's a tough one.
Well, the good thing about Wrigley, we don't have a dress code here. Come as you are.
I don't have a thought code.
Weathers in there for the second straight inning, gave up a hit to start the 6th, but then got a double play ball. A couple of ground ball outs for Weathers. Now facing Aramis Ramirez, who had a 2-run homer in the 5th, and he drives one to right this time. Corey
Fall down,
Hart
fall down, fall down.
does fall down. Nice call.
Thank you.
Now you're from Brooklyn, right?
I am. I'm from Brooklyn.
So
I was there when the Brooklyn Dodgers were there.
Okay.
And then we went to LA and they followed us out.
So earliest baseball memory would be
Sitting behind a big pillar and not being able to see anything.
you
in
could do
Ebbets
that
Field.
here, actually.
Yeah,
One
can
of
I?
the few ballparks you could still do
I
that.
was wondering whether that was deja vu.
You
or
could
just
sit right behind that pole right there, Richard, if you'd like.
Could have been my meds.
Line to left, and that's caught by Ryan Braun. Well, you brought up the Meds, so I have to mention one of my favorite movies. What About Bob? Big Cubs fan Bill Murray played Bob in the movie, and you were Dr. Leo Marvin.
Is
wanna know-
Murray a Cub fan?
Oh, he's one of the biggest Cub fans in the world.
Now, I think you do a lot better if you could get rid of Bill Murray.
You were trying to get rid of him in the movie.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. It's
Now,
kind of like life.
Were you aggravated with him off camera like you were on camera? Because you sold it really well.
I was. It wasn't acting.
Yeah. Get your hands off my sister. I think that's one of the great lines in movie history.
Yeah.
What About Bob?
Yeah, and his knee on my back. That was fun.
1-1 on Giovanni Soto with Richard Dreyfuss. There's a pop up, and it'll be Braun again.
Are you allowed to say, like, tickle, tickle, tickle?
Sure, if you'd like.
Distract them.
Yeah, if you can. Now, I know that you would like civics to be more of a focus these days.
Yeah, to say the least. I think that you wouldn't get on an airplane and hear a voice on the loudspeaker say, "We're going to pick our pilot from economy class today," and that's what we do with running the country. Running a country is the most complex thing in the world, and we treat it as if it's nothing. And that's why we are the first generation to have failed in the oldest principle of our nation, which is our future is more important than the past. We've let down our kids completely. They not only don't know what due process is, they don't know how to balance a checkbook or hammer a nail. And we act as if the 21st century is going to be a cakewalk. And it ain't. And we all know it.
Ken Maka's out. He's going to make a change. He's going to go with a lefty with Fontenot due up. We'll be back 9-5 Milwaukee. Milwaukee, and So Taguchi is going to make his Cubs debut as he bats for Mike Fontenot. Mentioned Taguchi has a couple of World Series rings. 2006 with St. Louis, and last year he struggled, hit .220, but earned a ring with the Phillies.
The last game I remember, before I got too old to remember anything, was Kirk Gibson in '88.
You were there? Or is
No.
it you just watched it on TV?
I watched it.
That's the last game you remember?
I watched
1988.
it and jumped around
Yeah.
and screamed and was incontinent. It was incredible.
And you'll remember tonight, too, right? Your first trip to Wrigley Field.
That's right.
We're with Richard Dreyfuss, who just conducted the 7th inning stretch.
And feel so much better for it.
Were you nervous at all? You didn't seem.
I was,
You
because
were?
I have the worst voice since Bill Murray.
I thought you did a nice job.
Thank you. And so did you all.
0-2 on Taguchi. Who turned 40 on July 2nd. I think that's when you turned 40, right?
Yes, except it was in another century. What a country.
The pitch, a little bit outside, 1-2. As we said before, Taguchi's here because Sam Fuld is day-to-day with a thumb injury, and Reed Johnson is still on the disabled list, so Cubs needed a backup center fielder.
If you'd asked me, I would have.
You would have done it. You can play center field.
Absolutely. Better than Manny Rodriguez.
Who's Manny Rodriguez?
Or whoever that guy is that doesn't
Right.
walk or run to pick up a ball.
I think you're referring to Manny Ramirez.
Oh, Ramirez. Yeah,
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
Ramirez. I'm sorry. Was I ethnically incorrect there?
Taguchi held up, and it's 2-2.
The scary thing was we knew exactly who you
That's
were talking
right.
about.
It was scary, isn't it?
Well, Manny. I mean, Manny. Everybody knows Manny.
Yeah.
Manny Wood.
The one phrase he's never heard is "earn it."
Cubs are down 4 as Taguchi hangs in against Stetter. How long are you in town, Richard?
About 3 days, 4 days. There's going to be a film festival, and we're going to show a bunch of films, and
I assume you're in them.
I'm in them,
Even better.
and I'm really good. God,
You
I'm
are
good.
really good.
And I'm really good looking too. I mean, if this wasn't radio,
Did you go on radio before you came over?
I was on radio, and I was even better looking there.
What did Ron Santo ask you?
He asked me to leave at the end of the song.
There's Ronnie. Piano bar's open. Got him. Called strike 3, and that ends the inning. Richard Dreyfuss, thanks so much for the time. We
Thank you
appreciate it.
very much, and good luck, and I hope you guys win, and legally.
He's a genius. That's tonight's Bud Light Fan Cam with just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. Sean Marshall is in to face Ryan Braun. Andres Blanco's in to play second. That was interesting. 9-5 Milwaukee. You know, the thought just occurred to me. Richard Dreyfuss could have played Bob in What About Bob? I think he could have pulled it off.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Ground ball sharply hit, and it gets past Ramirez. Braun makes a turn. Running hard. The tag, they got him. Jake Fox to Andres Blanco. Nicely done, Jake Fox.
Yeah, nicely done, Jake Fox, and a great tag at second base by Andres Blanco. From our Southwest Skycam, Braun with a bolt down that third baseline past Ramirez. Jake Fox got over there quickly, made a backhanded play, and throws on a hop to Blanco, who got the quick tag down just before Braun got his foot on the bag. Nicely done.
Thinking that's the first career outfield assist for Jake Fox. The 1-1 to Fielder. That's hammered into center. Brings up Casey McGee. And yes, that is the first assist for Jake Fox.
It's been a while since we've seen Sean Marshall. His last outing was 10 days ago at Citi Field in New York, when an inning, a third against the Mets, gave up a hit in that ball game. Struck out 4, didn't walk a batter.
Nice job, Tom Gorzolani. 2 scoreless innings. Old foul. Hit hard by McGee. A bouncer to Ramirez, not hit hard. They'll get 1. They get 2. Well, Blanco might have come off the bag early, but that's usually given in terms of the benefit of the doubt. 9-5 Milwaukee. to get out of the top of the 8th. And Andres Blanco got the benefit of the doubt.
Now, this is a good old-fashioned neighborhood play is what that was. You know, as long as the feed from the infielder that initiates the double play is on target, the timing of the play is what you would expect. Most umpires are going to give you a little leeway out there at second base just to protect yourself from that sliding runner.
Stetter's still in there after he got out of the 7th. 2-0 to Bobby Scales. Getting late, 6 outs to work with, and the Cubs trail by 4. That's in there, 2-1. And nice to have So Taguchi around just for the the veteran leadership. Well, we saw him talking to Zambrano, now chatting up Brian Terrio. A lot of experience.
Notice where Stetter sets up on that pitching rubber.
Base hit, Bobby Scales. He's 2 out of 4.
And the rule book just says that part of your foot has to be in contact with part of the rubber. So Stetter uses every bit of that rubber. He just barely has his heel touching the far first base side of that pitcher's slab, and doesn't make any difference to Bobby Scales, but it does give Stetter the angle from that sidearm delivery. It looks like he's throwing from the second base position to a hitter. He uses the whole length of his foot to the first base side of the rubber. His heel is barely touching.
The kick and the pitch too high. It's 2-0. What Blanco could get on, that could maybe really set up this inning, because you go back to the top of the order. You want to pile up as many runners as possible with Derek Lee in the vicinity. A 2-1. That one will drop for Blanco. 2 on with nobody out. Time now to look at our high def shot of the game, sponsored by Comcast. Oh, that's beautiful. A little earlier tonight, just before sundown, on the Master of the Obvious. Unless that's not the sun. Cubs baseball in high definition is sponsored by Comcast. That's it for Stetter. Claudio Vargas coming in. Right-handers on. One time he worked as a starter, 0-3 in 5 starts, late July through mid-August. 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs last night here at Wrigley. That's what it says, but he did not. Or did I miss that? I looked under Carlos Villanueva. Never mind. I'm trying to remember. Did he pitch last night?
Yeah, Villanueva pitched in the ball game
Yes.
last night.
Yes. Vargas pitched Sunday at Arizona. Acquired from the Dodgers at the end of July. Started the year on the DL with right elbow tendonitis. One and one to Terrio. Two on, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Backhanded by Lopez. Nice flip. Escobar's throw. They turn 2. Putting on a show in the middle of the diamond.
Nice play by Lopez to start this whole thing, going backhand up the middle of the field. The shovel underneath his arm. Escobar turns his back completely to his target. But wheeled around and fired a strike to Big Prince Fielder to complete that double play.
Runner at third, 2 outs. And it's Fukudome taking strike 1. Cubs with a chance to gain ground on the Cardinals, who lost again. And the Rockies are in San Francisco tonight, top 3, no score. Jorge De La Rosa and Matt Cain. Excellent pitching matchup in that one. And I think the Cubs have to root for the Giants. Team they will play 4 times on the next road trip. The kick, the 0-2, hit foul. Paid crowd tonight, 38,084, 38084.
Well, Bruce Bochy has another weapon to use out of his bullpen tonight if he so chooses. A left-handed specialist by the name of Randy Johnson. Back off the disabled list, will be used out of the bullpen for the remainder of the year.
One and two. The Braves lead the Mets 4-3 in the top of the 5th in Atlanta. Here it's 9-5 Milwaukee in the 8th. Pulled to right. Corey Hart is there. Ball was hit hard by Fukudome, but still hitless on the homestand. 9-5 for the visitors. 5 Brewers. And Sean Marshall gave up 2 hits, no runs in the 8th. They'll face Cameron, Kendall, and Escobar. Cubs are 4-1 on the homestand, which will end tomorrow, and off to the road. Won't be easy. 3 in St. Louis, 3 in Milwaukee, 4 in San Francisco. That little floater's caught by Blanco. Nicely done, Andres Blanco. That was not an easy play.
Not at all, and that's the one you always worry about it coming out of the glove, because Blanco was completely extended as he ran out there into shallow right field. Every bit of that glove was used. The ball caught right up into webbing, and then he cradled it in the pocket. Nice catch.
And it'll be very interesting to see just where the Cubs are in the standings when they return home for the final week of the season, which will include 4 against the Pirates and 3 versus Arizona. This will be the second out of the inning as Kendall grounds out. Cubs won't say it. They're focused on every at bat, every inning, every game. But for me, I think the modest goal right now should be make those games count in the final week. Find a way to hang around. You know, make the Cardinals sweat. Go in there and sweep them this weekend. Give them a reason to think that maybe they're going to blow it.
Well, you're right about the first part. The Cubs wouldn't say that. They need to focus every day, win a ball game today, however we have to do that. But absolutely, yeah, you want to be playing meaningful games right down to the last week of the season. Look at the pitching matchups for the next 4 days. Of course, tomorrow, Randy Wells and Dave Bush right here at Wrigley Field. And you've got Ted Lilly against John Smoltz, who's coming off a little bit of a tender arm, tender shoulder.
Dempster and Carpenter and Wainwright, yeah. Dempster and Zambrano Saturday and Sunday. fans hoping their team can engineer a late comeback. Going to be tough. Todd Coffey will try to get the final 3 outs, but Trevor Hoffman is going to be waiting in the wings just in case.
Saw Todd Coffey in the ball game last night. Did not retire a batter. Allowed 2 inherited runners to score. Gave up a hit, a walk, and hit a batter.
If the score holds up, it'll be a new career high in wins for Braden Looper's 13th. Rich Harden has already set a career high with 8 losses. He would drop to 9-9, but heart of the order here. See what happens. 1 strike to D. Lee. He has hit now 9 in a row. Guy on deck, Aramis Ramirez, with an 8-game hitting streak. He has a homer in the ball game. Tap foul on a slider. 0-2. Cheesehead sighting. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Time now to look at tonight's AM/PM player of the game. They call it the hot corner for a reason. Aramis Ramirez has had a workout down there at third base tonight. Has made a couple of stellar defensive plays. Also hit his 13th home run of the season into a stiff wind right down the left field line. Aramis Ramirez, our AM/PM player of the game. Too much good stuff.
Call made by Doug Eddings on the swing from the back of the plate.
Ooh. I think that's one thing that will never change in the game of baseball. When the home plate umpire calls a check swing a strike without asking for help from the first base umpire, it's going to forever cause problems between hitters and the plate umpires. You've got an extra set of eyes down there that has a much better angle to see that swing. Why not use them?
Two with Soto on deck. Cubs need to pile up some runners. Right to McGee, who looks it in. 2 down. Last chance now. It's Soto. Mets have tied the Braves 4-4 in the 5th. One of those teams, the Braves, ahead of the Cubs in the wild card chase. Atlanta half a game ahead of the Cubs starting play tonight. Florida 1.5 ahead after beating St. Louis. Oh, 2. coffee ready. Here it is. This will do it as Escobar will throw to Fielder, and the Brewers take game 3. They have a chance for a split. The Cubs still can win the series if they can win tomorrow, but Milwaukee wins tonight. The final score, the Brewers 9, the Cubs 5.